There you go. Stick it on. How are you guys? As you've all probably seen quite a few of my videos now, but I've just been asked by a bloke by the name of Eric. He's a firefighter in Gosford, Australia, which is the mid New South Wales coast, pretty close to where I come from myself. Now, he's given me a bit of an email saying, can I explain to him how to treat first aid for snakebite properly? And the reasons being, he's doing burn-offs in Sydney, and there's heaps of death adders and eastern browns or whatnot around. And under normal circumstances, I would say the chances of anyone being bitten are unbelievably slim, but you've got to take into account that these snakes are probably going to be burnt. And I've seen snakes in fires before. The silly buggers just come running straight through the fires, turn around and run back into the fire, so they're a little bit scattered. And if you get an eastern brown that's scattered, it's something you don't want to come across too often. Also, death adders using their camouflage, it'll be too easy for a firefighter to be concentrating on his job and to step on a death adder. You all know how fast they strike, and you all know that their fangs are quite long and they can easily penetrate your shoes and all your clothing if you're not wearing appropriate footwear. Now let's just be hypothetical and say that someone's out there doing their firefighting and they go to pick up a log or something and they get bitten on the finger by an eastern brown. Now, the first thing everyone says in first aid is to stay calm. I can tell you from experience, first couple of times you get bitten, staying calm is pretty bloody hard. But the reasons why you've got to stay calm is because the venom doesn't actually run through your blood like a lot of people think. It runs through your lymphatic system, which is a fat layer just underneath your skin. Shush. Seen an eastern brown, I think. Now, what happens is that lymphatic system, or that fat layer just underneath your skin, is designed like a sewer system of your body to get rid of all the toxins, any germs, or let's say you're out gardening, you get a thorn in your arm, any toxins that might have, your body's trying to get rid of it that way. Now the snakes depend upon this lymphatic system in order to make the venom travel throughout your body. Now, what happens is you've been bitten on the finger. The venom doesn't take much. When I got bitten by an eastern brown, it was the tiniest prick. You could barely squeeze your finger to get blood out of it. It was only one fang. That nearly killed me. Now, the idea is don't cut it, don't suck it, don't wash it, don't do any of those old wives' tales that you used to hear about. Don't throw a big tourniquet on your arm. Don't go throwing your hand on a chopping block and chop your finger off, thinking that's going to save you. Because I've heard stories of a Kiwi that did that up here in northern Queensland after all the boys told him about the dangerous taipans or whatnot. And he ended up getting bitten by a green tree and chopped his own bloody finger off. So you can imagine the sort of dramas he's caused himself. Now, you've been bitten by a snake. You don't know what it is. Treat it like the worst possible scenario. Because if you try and assume what sort of breed of snake it is, you're going to end up in trouble. All you need is a $2 compression bandage. So for the boys who are out there bushwalking, or people that work in the bush, or those firefighters, make sure there's a handful of these around. Now, should I have just been bitten by an eastern brown then? What are you doing, big fella? Are you still focusing now, or are you going all around the bush? Now, should I have been bitten by an eastern brown on my finger? I would have left it, I would have grabbed the bandage, and I would have wrapped the bandage straight over the bite site, and wrap it about as tight as if I'd strained my wrist, and wrap it all the way up my arm. Now what this does is it puts pressure on that fat layer underneath the skin, and it very, very restricts the amount of flow to the lymphatic system, and therefore restricts the speed in which the venom does its job. So you grab the bandage and you wrap it all the way up your shoulder. If by chance you've been bitten on the leg, from your ankle all the way up to your groin. If you've been bitten on the torso or the face, that's very hard to bandage, obviously. You grab yourself a jar or something like that and put it over it, and that still slows it down a little bit, but nowhere near as much as what a bandage does. Now, me being in this situation, my little brother's only 12, that's doing the filming now. He's unable to drive the car, so I call in ambulance. Now, these days you pay for ambulance here in Australia in your electricity bill, so you may as well do it. If by chance somebody's with you, get them to drive the car. For God's sake, don't try and drive the car yourself, because when you pass out, you'll definitely do some damage to yourself. This day and age, the doctors and the staff at the hospitals have got it down pat so well that the chances of death, unless of course you've already got liver damage or heart conditions or something like that, are very, very slim. Now these days when I get bitten by snakes, my biggest fear is missing out on home and away that night and not having a few beers with the boys, and also telling my missus that I've been bitten again. So realistically, there should be no reason why anyone should die from this unless there's some other thing, like you don't have a bandage, or you go running around like a pork chop, or anything like that. Now what the doctors do, on the bite site, they can do a swab of the venom that's on there. They also do swabs of your armpits and your groin. The sweat that comes out of there often has the snake venom inside it. They also wait until they see if you've been envenomated. A lot of people think you've been bitten by a brown snake, they straight away give you antivenin. Now, a lot of people think that antivenin's like a headache tablet. You have a headache tablet, you take, painkiller, paracetamol. That's not the case at all. Antivenin is made out of horse blood and snake venom, so you have to trick your body into accepting this stuff. So they give you antihistamines, cortisones, adrenaline, steroids, all sorts of stuff to prepare your body to accept this stuff they're about to give you. When they give it to you, the situation is that basically your body, the antivenin undoes the stuff that's wrecking your body. You survive that, and then when it comes to the rest of the enzymes and other toxins that are inside the venom, that just has to run its course. So usually you still end up with quite a few different type of sicknesses anyway. But anyway, if you have any other questions, feel free to give me a hit, questions on YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyway guys, I've got to get going because it's middle of summer here and I'm surprised my phone hasn't rang already. See ya.